Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. We're taking another look here at Solana. The old dog here dying off in the corner, not doing so well compared to the majority of the market. Keep in mind, altcoins are getting hammered today, but this started free fall before that even started to occur with just minor corrections from Bitcoin. So as per usual, sticking to the narrative, do not take along with this coin. Everyone who says, why are you so bearish on this coin? It's simply the trend right now. It's still going down. There's no reason to take along almost ever at this point, based on how many confirming factors we have to the downside. So just please understand, I'm looking out for your best interest when I say do not do not long rather. And unfortunately, we did miss our short opportunity at 180. It only came up as high as 175 on Saturday after I analyzed this coin here. Again, obvious bear flag. That's not the reason why the price pulled back, by the way, but it's just a normal pattern that you want to look for when there's a bearish type of divergence, okay? Again, keep in mind, this isn't a bull flag, right? This isn't something trying to convince me to take a long position. It's just reaffirming the trend. That's simply how it works. That's how patterns are supposed to work. Try not to be super observant of bullish patterns in bearish scenarios. The success rate goes down quite significantly. Anyways, conversation for another day. What we're going to look at here, of course, is back-end data here for liquidation on Solana. As we can see, there's very little left. If we look at the charts, there was a liquidation range of 160, 168. That was local. That is all gone. You can kind of see this whole massive amount of liquidation that's taken care of. Each one of these bars is about 400 to 500 million. So we can see billions of dollars just getting swept from the market between 160 and 168. Another reason why I emphasize not taking a long position over the weekend, we've had now 7 out of 7 bearish weekends this year, okay? Every single weekend, the price pumps up for a little while, gets everybody to go late longs, and then they just get hammered. Okay, that's pretty much an example right here. So the key takeaway is there's no liquidation left to the downside, but I'm willing to speculate we have a significant amount of liquidation delta to the downside, or more so, these are shorts, kind of implying that more people are shorting than taking longs. Finally, yeah, that's exactly how it's supposed to look when you have a type of bearish divergence. No more false positives. The trend is down. It's pretty obvious. So again, what do? Do you trade in the direction of the trend or you trade against it? With the trend, folks. Easy question, should be an easy answer. Anyways, taking a look here, we can see 160 to 164. That's that area of open interest. These are late longs trying to buy the dip. And again, I had a limit order at 160 that got filled in my spot bag. I'm fine by that because that is money that I'm willing to set aside and not think about for a long time. I'm not going to be stressed about it sitting here all day long wondering if I'm going to get liquidated or not. I'm not taking any leverage trades in this coin. And the reason why is because you don't trade leverage on the weekends. If you do, you use it responsibly, you have a tight stop loss. You should not be in the red right now on a trade on this coin because there's no reason to have taken a long because there's nothing showing us it's willing to pull back to the upside or recover, okay? So again, that's just kind of how it is. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to look at obvious indications, things we want to find or see in order for this to transition back into a bullish type of convergence. How do we identify the shift in momentum? Well, first things first, you're going to look for higher highs and higher lows. That typically comes on the 4-hour time frame. The daily time frame is hard to identify. It takes longer. Most people are not patient enough to wait that long. Either way you look at it, we can see the descending trend here. We're underneath the 20-day SMA running perfectly with this descending trend. So this orange line on the chart is reflective of the trend. Okay, we're still below it until we get above it. There's no reason to take it long. So it's probably going to look something like this. Who knows? It's going to bounce around, but once we get above this trend, then we can maybe consider looking at a long position because what do you know? It would be establishing higher highs and higher lows. All right. So again, that's just generally the concept. Now, when it comes to everything else, everything is extremely bearish. We're right here at 30 on the RSI, common bouncing point. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little relief rally here soon if Bitcoin can stabilize at 95,000. In fact, I'm considering along with Bitcoin, even though everything's bearish, mainly because it's essentially still range bound between 95.5 and 98.5. Okay. Again, today's candlestick hasn't closed yet, but once we get there, we'll know more. Between now and then, probably best not to shoot in a blind. All that being said, everything's extremely bearish here, but generally when you see this kind of overextension, a recovery of some sort is bound to happen. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit of a relief rally, but try not to be somebody that's just going to try to take a long to $300 or something from here, okay? That hopium, that the thought process that everything's back on track and altcoins are going to surge and we're going to see a significant altcoin rally. I don't think that's a thing anymore. Honestly, Bitcoin ETF changed the whole entire game. And unfortunately, manipulation's at an all-time high, and there's no other way around it. You just kind of got to get used to chop salad and nonstop, trash, garbage fires, whatever term you want to use to describe it. That's how it's going to be for a while, okay? And again, with Bitcoin dominance increasing, there's no reason to expect altcoins to do well at this point. We're going to have some outliers, but not a lot of them are going to perform unanimously with each other anymore. Again, those are just my thoughts. I could be way off base. I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to see altcoins flourish, but it's just too much market dilution. So take a look here, 4-hour time frame. Same thing as well. We're under 30 on the RSI now, which is generally unfavorable. All right, so it's just what this implies is you want to keep your short position open if you have one. Now we don't have a short position open with this coin, but we do have one with Bitcoin. We shorted from roughly 98.5. So again, all good there. That's totally separate, of course. But the premise here is that we're only going in the direction of the trend right now. Okay, the trend right now is down. We want to hold to that. Altcoins are not responding well when Bitcoin recovers, and they're selling off twice as hard as Bitcoin. So please understand that. Look, Bitcoin's down 1.5%, and Solana's down almost 8%. Okay, that's a significant correction. All that being said, it doesn't mean we can't still recover. Generally speaking, when you're hitting these ranges, you do see relief rallies occur. But again, I really do not recommend taking long here. It's just too high of a risk with this coin because that's how it works. Now you might be wondering, why are you willing to take a long with Bitcoin that's a high risk trade and you're not with altcoins? Well, look at how poorly altcoins respond to Bitcoin selling off by a small margin. It makes no sense. The inherent risk is too high. That's just the concept there, right? Bitcoin, I can afford to take a small loss with that coin because it gives me more range of motion. It's a little easier to trade. Altcoins are highly manipulated and super suspect. It's really difficult to kind of get a good gauge, at least when everything's going like this. Obviously, if you want to short, you're probably going to find more success, but it's hard to want to short near the bottom of an overextension. See, there's that whole dynamic there. That's where market makers are crafty. They get everyone to flip short now, and they're going to probably pump the price for a short while and destroy any late shorts. So again, it's just rinse and repeat, same old story. The key takeaway here is that you don't want to take a long and you don't want to take a short. It's really simple. Stay on the sidelines, wait for a better opportunity. A good opportunity for a short would be a retest this previous resistance turned support level, previous support rather, turned resistance at 160. So a short at 160 seems practical at this point, if we even recover to that level, okay? That's, again, just shooting from the hip, but that's roughly what you want to look for. Look at this overextension here. We can see we've overextended 1, 2, and we're about 2.5. We're basically like a full 3 patterns in here almost, okay? Another 2 or 3 hours, we're gonna be extremely overextended. So the key takeaway here is when you see multiple 9s in a row, you generally don't want to try to buy those dips, okay? Or short into them. I would just recommend waiting at this point. It doesn't make a lot of sense to try to force a trade. The Ichimoku Cloud is confirming 100% that shorts are in play and there's no reason to take a long. Again, a good confirming factor for a long would be a break back up above 160. So again, I know previously I mentioned, closing above 185 would be optimal for us to be able to take a long. Now that dynamic has shifted because we've now swept that lower level liquidation, previous support, potential resistance here. So getting above 160 would be a short-term win. Between now and then, we got to presume it's going to work as a resistance. Right? That's generally the concept. So again, a lot of little things that you kind of want to think about, factor in, but for the most part, that's kind of where we're at. It's chopped salad for Bitcoin and pretty much a complete disaster for most altcoins. And this is consistently happening day in and day out. So until you catch on or pick that up, it's gonna be a lot of frustration and dismay. So between now and then, I just recommend pumping the brakes, waiting on the sidelines. There's nothing wrong with not trading for a day. You can do it. Plenty of people do it. I do it all the time. Patience pays off. You're going to miss tons of opportunity, though. Please be okay with that because it's not a problem. You know how much opportunity is going to be there tomorrow? Just as many as there was today that you missed, right? It's all good. Okay, cool. That's all I got. Make sure you check out Bitunix. Phenomenal deposit bonus here. Link down below for that. That's available till March 14th. Outside of that, if you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site. I've got a trading academy, community signals group, even an automated trading bot that's making some passive income there for our community. We're working on a strategy, optimizing it. It's a choppy market. It's difficult to maintain, but for the most part, overall successful. I hope you have a great rest of your day and you stay successful too. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.